children. Let's take our seats.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. We'll do it live. F it.
Hey, everyone, welcome to A Godless Universe. Someone texts me right at live point, right? Episode 3, my friend. This is episode 3. It's a long lash of a whole bunch of 4 days a week. We do this: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 4 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern. Oh man, lucky I got that right. Have you ever had those days? I feel fat. I feel fat. I'm feeling fat all day. Why does it happen? Was it your stomach bloats? Your body, you puff out? I've been drinking water. Like, I don't know. It's just, I had it worked out. I went 3 a.m. I went to the gym 3 a.m. like I always do. I go work out. I don't know. There needs to be a decisive scientific answer to the question, why do I feel fat on some days? I don't know, but I think I actually lost, I'm losing weight because I gained some weight. I did, I might have explained, I was in Los Angeles for almost 20 years. That's like half of my adult life. And I've seen the de-evolution of the human species. That's what I saw. That's exactly what I saw. It was, guys, the last few years in Los Angeles was hell. I saw almost everyone I know go bankrupt in terms of their small businesses. Utter wipeout, entire blocks downtown. I've spoken about it before, and I may speak about it again. But entire blocks closed for lease. The only people making money is the people with the for lease signs. But that's so every day. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. No, not Friday. Monday through Thursday we go live, and and then on days that you feel fat, it's like how do you get comfortable? I try and get comfortable. My only solution is drink wine, and I'm not really a drinker. Even though, every night does Danny Else drink every single night? No, I don't, but I will. I am this evening. So, cheers. Red wine is wonderful for the soul. Not too much. You don't need too much. What are we doing? Oh, guys, so yesterday we were talking about my girl, Kate Beckinsale, right? Kate. Yeah. Kate Beckinsale. The Underworld series, right? So it's not, she is one of those being a screenwriter, I think she is one of the best female heroes that was written and acted in any movie. You got to create heroes because, in today's modern world, the Mary Sues don't need to do much, right? She-Hulk, although it took Bruce Banner how many years to perfect all of his skills, She-Hulk took, just an evening of sleep. The next morning, she was pretty good, right? And Ray Palpatine, that's a beauty. That's the problem with female heroes, is they don't have to work for it. Luke Skywalker, do you remember what Luke Skywalker had to do to get to where he was to defeat Darth, his papa? Did you guys see Anakin Skywalker and Superman at the very end? Superman actually fought Anakin at the very end. I'm telling you, that looked like freaking Anakin Skywalker. I'm telling you. It was him. It was Anakin. So Kate Beckinsale. So what, because I love the movies and I haven't watched them for a while. And so, almost not every episode, close to every episode, we're going to do a movie review or a TV show or something like that. And I wanted to do the Underworld series. And I told you guys today that I was going to pick the week, and we're going to do, and it worked out perfect, the first week of December 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. We're doing the Underworld series. So if you guys want to watch Underworld, not underwear, because I've said that almost every time. Every time I go to say Underworld, I almost say underwear. It has nothing to do with Kate Beckinsale. I would not disrespect her like that. I would not.
Look at me.
Yeah, fooled me. Damn straight. So December 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, we are doing the Underworld series. So if you want to watch it, I'm going to rewatch them because I want to rewatch them. Love me some Kate. I had a picture. You know what? I'm going to put the picture up because it is it's just that good. Girls with guns, right? Where is it? It's I mean, that is nice. That is nice. Kate. Kate. Kate with a gun. They just, you know what? She's small, but she's in that black latex tights leather. And it's believable. So as a screenwriter myself, you need to go and you need to write. So she went through a lot of, as a young girl, trying to grow up, as, what do you call it? She's a vampire hunter, right? What's the technical term? She had to struggle to get to where she was. She went through a lot of ups and downs. She fought for her place in the movie and as a character. Ray Palpatine, remember she was in the Millennium Falcon, and something was wrong, and she just went in there and and then it was like, what's his name? Han Solo's like, what did you do? Well, I just kind of like did what I. What I always find interesting is you have all these high-tech movies and they're still using wires, like, basic copper wire. Have you ever wondered about that? Look at all the Star Wars shows. I mean, have you seen what was the latest Star Wars one? Oh my God, it was so bad. Why does this happen to the human brain? These things. The Acolyte. Thank you very much. Thank you. Holy God. I mean, the Acolyte. The thing is, I may be the smartest man in the room right now, but I'm also the dumbest. Because no, that deserves an applause. The dumbest in the room deserves an applause. So I am, so that is the Acolyte. That was, they spent $350 million, maybe $400 million on that TV show. And it is undoubtedly the biggest disaster. Science fiction, my friends, needs people who are passionate about science. Doesn't have to be science fact, but if it's science fact, that's fine, because people who love science fiction tend to like science fact. Not 100%, but, and that is what's wrong with today. The people that are doing science fiction, they don't care about science fiction. They're using pre-established science fiction that was established by great science fiction writers, people who loved science fiction, and now we got science muck. Science activist muck. What's it? Benead Ochoy Chenab? What's her name? The girl that's doing the Ray Palpatine. I don't think it's going to happen. Come on. Come on, stupid shit. I feel fat today. I'm telling you. I don't think it's going to happen. But this is someone. So you're going to take someone who is a activist who has done just a few documentaries to do a Star Wars movie because what? They're so passionate about science fiction? Okay. Okay. Well, this part of the problem. There's going to come a time, and I'm telling you, if the basic system that is in place, the studio system, it's falling apart, it's eroding, because it's not addressing the concerns of the average person. People who love science fiction want science fiction, and damn it, we will bring science fiction. Ding. So December 1st to December 4th, we're doing the Underworld. Underworld. It's not where. World. Underworld. We're going to watch the movies, and then we're going to review them. So that's going to be fun. You know what, guys? Something I'm not huge to talk about is the whole Charlie Kirk thing. And I am on one day here. I'm going to talk about it because the solution is so simple beyond words. I don't know if that's the right way to say it. If you look at everything that's gone on, it's such a divisive thing, and I don't know if channels are taken. If I talk about it from a pure science perspective, the Charlie Kirk answer is simple. And if I go through all the items and then I give you my thoughts at the end, here's what I think happened. I think a lot of you will go, I think you're right. Or you already figured out yourself. And it is, yeah, I might. So you know what? I'm going to put it out there because I'm feeling that way. I'm going to have a Joe Rogan announcement. I know some people are like, I will have a Joe Rogan announcement sometime in the next, I'm going to say a couple of weeks before Christmas, at least. What do I, yeah.
Fuck me.
Say something.
Fuck you.
Fuck all. Fuck off. So what we're talking about today, guys, the science. So the main AI. I know it's a subject that a lot of people, it's talked about often. It's talked about, I worked on Wall Street for a lot of years, market maker, economic analyst, and I watch the AI, I watch the tech companies, I watch everything. Making AI, if you take a look at what's going on in AI, it's almost like a circle of, they're all financing themselves. It's like a circular motion of billions of dollars. I am a fan. Google Gemini has gotten increasingly better over the last, call it 6 months. It was terrible a year ago. And ChatGPT. But what is going on with AI? So after 18 years in Los Angeles, almost 20 years, I guess it was, there used to be so many graphic artists that used to work in this one building, which was right close to us. Graphic artists that were on Photoshop, hand drawn, and this was in Hollywood, right? So these guys were working day and night. Day and night. They were making $10, $15, $20, $30,000 per month. Their expertise was top of the line. Like it was indispensable in Hollywood. Now, you might as well be writing code. The whole building is almost empty. Overnight, imagine this. You're making $20,000, $25,000 per month. And overnight, from $25,000 per month, you go to $1,000 or $2,000 per month. That is what happened to the AI, the graphic artists in Los Angeles when AI came out a couple of years ago. And the destruction that's going on in Los Angeles, having lived through it, is crazy. AI is changing so many things in the film business. Remember, you'd want to go out and get like a simple shot. You go out and get a simple shot of whatever you'd have to get an entire crew. Maybe you'd get a big red camera. The red camera is worth what, 200, 300, 400,000, maybe 500,000 now. Called a red camera. You can Google it. Red camera. It's what a lot of the big movies are shot in. And you get a crew and you get everything else and you edit it. You got to colorize it, everything like. Now you enter in some text into a prompt. And if it's not the exact thing you want, you just keep adding prompts. You nail down the prompt. What used to be a $250,000 process to get maybe a minute worth of film, you're literally, I'm quite tech savvy, so I do use a lot of AI in the sense of trying to come up with the videos that I do on Godless Universe. All of them, all the scripts are done by me. There's no AI. There's not, but the point is, this is putting people, huge swaths of people, out of business. AI is changing things more than we might understand. Because if we go back, I don't know how old anyone is. If you go back, I graduated in 1985, so I lived in the 80s. The MTV generation, whatever they call us now. But I remember when you used to have to go to a payphone to call your friends. You go to 7-Eleven, you get the quarter, you put it in. It's like, hey, can you tell Jerry that we're going to be at blah, blah, blah till 10:30. And then we're going to, that you're talking to his mom, right? Then pagers came out. Remember I don't know if you don't remember the voice pagers. Everyone's sitting in a restaurant, like at noon, all these pagers keep going off. Hey, Jerry, it's Jim. Can you call me later on this afternoon? It's like, then we had the digital pagers, where it wasn't text to voice or voice to text. It was someone actually typing the words to the pager. Then we got the big white chunky phones, the Motorola chunky phones, which doubled as a weapon. People walked, if you don't remember those, we weren't alive at that time. People walked around with these big white chunky mobile phones, and everyone knew that they probably had a lot of money. Like these things were like $80,000, $90,000, $100,000. They were very expensive. Of course, they went down very quickly in price. But so that was the late 80s. Then the car phones. Car phones became easy because and then in the 90s, we got the internet, the BlackBerry, and the flip phone. And the internet changed everything overnight. Of course, I remember I was in my early 20s. My generation basically built the internet. But what happening in AI, obviously the internet has facilitated it. And if you just take a look at the amount of layoffs that are going on in, where is it now? It is in the thousands. It is absolutely in the thousands. So if you go down, look at this. Let's get to the top. Let me get to the top here. Companies that announce major layoffs. This is just in the last few months. IBM announced several thousand layoffs. Amazon, 14,000 layoffs. Paramount, 2,000 layoffs. General Motors, 1,700 layoffs. United Parcel Service, 48,000 layoffs. This was just a couple of days ago. Amazon, 14,000 layoffs. Target, 1,000 layoffs. There'll be a lot more coming from Target. They're not doing well. Applied Materials, can we just say 1,500? We cool with that? Meta, 600. Meta is going to have a round of layoffs in the thousands. I don't care what Zuckerberg says. It is coming. Nestle, look at Nestle, 16,000 layoffs. This was just in October. This is a recent announcement. Is this all AI? No. A lot of it is the fictitious economy that since I worked on Wall Street as a market maker and economic analyst, that we have had. We've never believed the numbers, like the pros, when the pros that worked in the stock. But this was back in the early 2000s. The numbers look fudged. Heineken, well, 400. Telefonica, 6,000, is still in October. Accenture, 11,000, still in October. ZF Friedrichshafen, 7,600. Lufthansa, 4,000. Robert Bosch, 13,000. Spirit Airlines, they're on the brink of bankruptcy. PwC, 1,500. Starbucks, 900. You watch Starbucks. 900 layoffs is only a mere start. A lot of this is AI, and it's going to continue. Ford, 1,000. I mean, it goes on and on. Novo Nordisk, 9,000. A lot of these jobs, they're accounting, customer service, coders are being laid off. Remember when everyone said, well, if you want a good, dependable job, you become a coder. No, you become a plumber. If you've seen the South Park episode, you know who's making the bucks. It's the guy and the gal who can fix a door hinge. There's no AI coming for that one. ConocoPhillips, 3,000. Lloyd's Bank, 3,000. Salesforce, 4,000. There's more coming from Salesforce. Believe me. Paramount, 3,000. There's more coming from Paramount. It is endless. We're just in August here. International pay, but these are just the big companies. S&P 500, or maybe S&P 1,000. I don't know. But these are the big companies. Tata Consultancy Services. Have you even heard of them? Most people haven't. 12,000 layoffs. 12,000 people. Duke University, 600 staff. Intel, 24,000. 24,000. That fits an arena. But anyway, we can go on. It goes on. It's endless. And it's Microsoft, 9,000. Microsoft's going to have some big ones coming up. So, but the point is, AI is facilitating a lot of this. And it's part of the change in the economy and the world that disruption creates disruption. So if you have tech disruption, what's going on? This is massively disrupting the entire economy. Big time. And so, even the ads. Have you seen? If you're on YouTube, you get the ads. I swear, every single one now is an AI ad. It's actually frustrating. I don't think that YouTube is doing themselves a service by having this deluge of AI ads. I don't think it's doing themselves a service by you can accept the whole idea of creating content using AI. That's fine. You know what? It's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. But somewhere, somehow, there needs to be. I have seen so many videos with Michio Kaku. You know Michio Kaku, right? And they've got the whole 3i Atlas bullshit. The astronomer, ASSTR, astronomer, Avi Loeb, who basically started the whole BS about, 3i Atlas. Alien ship, yes, they sent a 15-mile alien ship, which would basically take over 10% of the entire output of our sun in terms of energy to get here. Yes, it's a spaceship. I have a standing bet with Avi. If you think it's aliens, you take that side. I take it's not the aliens, and the loser has to eat just a little plate of squirrel poop. just a little plate of squirrel poop. Avi. Okay, that's enough. I'll call. You know what? I'll call. I'll call Harvard tomorrow. See if I can get a job, get tenure at Harvard. Hello, my name is Danny Alex. I would like to get a job at Harvard. I've heard you hired Avi Loeb. I might be a shoo-in. Oh, fuck, it's just the 3i Atlas BS. But it's just all apart. There's entire videos of Michio Kaku, AI, talking about stuff. Entire videos. What do you do? AI is going crazy. And you got to remember this time, because these times don't happen often. You are living in a time, just like you're in the early 90s, mid 90s with the internet. This is a time that will not probably happen again for another 30, 40, 50 years. Generational. These are generational things that are going on. So with AI, so the question is here, and what we're doing, I did a video. Will AI turn us into Borg? And I think 5 years ago, people would basically have laughed at it, right? That's not the laugh. That's the laugh, yes. The very question of will AI turn us into Borg was basically, it would have been a joke. Today, not so much. If you take a look at what Elon Musk is doing with Neuralink in terms of meshing organics with non-organics, that's literally what we're talking about here, right? Now, it's basically just electrical signals, right? That everything that goes through our brains, it goes back in. It's if we can create electrical signals that merge seamlessly with organic electrical signals, which it looks like it can work, because it's pretty scary. So I did a video, and it's one of my favorite videos I did. I did it a few months ago. And oh, wait a second.
Can billions of minds, mine from Star Trek, poses a...
Hold on a sec. You know what? Here's the problem. I got no peeps. When it's just yourself doing this stuff, you try and do it all yourself. But I got the video loaded. So the AI, will AI turn humanity into Borg? It's a big question. I think we'd be surprised at how many people would accept the idea of collectivism, being part of the group that basically they don't have to take care of themselves anymore. You're part of the collective. It's billions of minds put into one. It's the Borg. It's not far-fetched. So this is a video that I did about 6-7 months ago. It has a huge percentage watch. And YouTube hasn't given us much. Like, you think a video with that high a percentage watch, you think like you get some for but so
Can billions of minds be reduced to one unified will?
And that's the question, right? So when you do a video, how do you stimulate people to get interested in the topic that you're talking about? And the idea was, it took me like 3 or 4 days to actually do this script. I mean, I went back and forth asking questions, and being a screenwriter, I mean, it certainly helps me. But this was 3 or 4 days just to do the script because the questions are so important. Imagine billions of minds unified as a single one. Now that's what we are, right? Trillions of cells that come together to form one consciousness. The thing is, our cells aren't conscious. If you form a collective of billions of minds turning into one consciousness, what happens?
What if individuality was a fleeting illusion, destined to be erased by a collective mind that absorbs all thoughts, ideas, and wills into a single, unyielding consciousness?
Oh, that's so. The Borg came out with the generation, the Star Trek, the Next Generation. Now, the GOAT is the first Star Trek. I mean, I love the first Star Trek. I actually fall asleep to the 79 episodes. Captain Kirk, Leonard Nimoy, DeForest Kelly. That's the GOAT. But the Next Generation came up with some awesome concepts. The Borg was one of them. And the idea that you merge cybernetics with biology, organics with non-organics is pretty amazing. And some of the effects in it illustrates it pretty good.
What if the future of human innovation, technology, and survival meant surrendering the very essence of what makes us unique? The Borg, the relentless cybernetic hive mind from Star Trek, poses a chilling question about the future of humanity.
And if you think the idea of the Borg can't happen, I don't think you're keeping up with current events. I think the merging of organic and non-organic appliances that conduct electrical signals is not too far into the future. They're going to have RFID. They want to put the RFIDs, right? And basically control society. If you're not behaving in society, well, you know what? You can't go to the water park today. They're going to cut you off the water park. They're going to cut you off your banking. They're going to cut you off of this. Is it going to happen? Dollars to donuts? I'd bet it will. One way or the other. The last 10 years, you can just see it. You can feel it. You can see it happening in other countries around the world. What shocked me is that when everyone was locked in with COVID, I thought that there were going to be demonstrations, people on the street. I was in Los Angeles at the time. Nothing. Shocking. That is why you basically see a docile population. And the idea that everyone's going to be RFID'd, and then at one switch you're turned off from society if you misbehave, that's a pretty scary, that's like the first phase of assimilation. Governments always strive for bigger control of the populace. It is just natural. I don't know where it stops. I was born in a communist country. The last thing I want is anything to do with leftism, collectivism, Marxism, and meritocracy is exactly what. But you know what? You really have to take a look and think that AI could be heading towards a Borg-like society. It's not out of the realm of possibility. And that's what's scary.
Could we one day become the very thing we fear, sacrificing freedom for efficiency, individuality for unity, and life for assimilation? As science fiction blurs with scientific possibility, the concept of the Borg forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about technology, evolution, and the price of progress.
Science fiction is becoming science fact. That's the scary thing. Science fiction is becoming science fact. All you got to do is look around. Look at how fast AI is progressing. Look at, Mid-Journey. Look at what they're doing with video. There's some software that I'm watching because being a screenwriter, there's some couple of screenplays that I wouldn't mind putting into a graphics novel. They literally now have software where you can create a character. You put in the right prompts, and then you name that character. And every time that character comes up in the graphic novel that you want to, they literally have taken a 3D image of that graph and they put that character everywhere. And it's every month it's becoming so much more advanced. It is shocking. There's no end. We're just at the beginning. That's what's scary.
The Borg are one of the most terrifying creations in science fiction, not because they are malicious or cruel, but because they are indifferent. They do not conquer for greed or destruction. They assimilate because it is their nature.
And that's, I mean, really, that's what's scary about the Borg. It's not meanness or it's not anything. And that's the great thing about how the Borg, you know, the creation of the Borg. It's not so much science fiction. They just do so. It's not scary as much as it is just what has to be done. Assimilating entire planets, races of people. So
Their credo, resistance is futile, encapsulates their unstoppable advance. Their certainty that all civilizations will eventually fall to their logic. As frightening as this sounds, the concept of a collective consciousness driven by cybernetic enhancement is not entirely impossible.
you know, you kind of put your mind to it. It's hard to think. It's hard to think that, you know, we have this feeling of individuality, this feeling of freedom. What is it like to be in a collective? I mean, to be in the Soviet Union would have been, you know, I don't want to say this, but I'm going to say it. If you're fairly religious, you're probably as close to being as part of that Borg mentality as, and not in a bad way. Look, if you're religious, you're into blind faith. That's not a bad thing. If you love your religion, you keep your religion. I don't care. Science doesn't care. It doesn't. Science is out to prove things, not disprove things. But religion relies on blind faith. It relies on, if the Pope says something and decrees, this is what we believe today, it goes down the ranks. And I don't know if the Protestants are going to, you know, pick up on it, but Catholicism, which is, I love to see their balance sheet. How much money, you know, I drive to the gym every morning. I go to the gym at 3 a.m. I drive by 2 massive churches at 3 a.m. Even in the middle of the day, 90% of the time they're closed. No one's there. Massive structures, empty. What? There's homeless people. Like, yeah. Don't get me. I got myself started. I got myself worked up. But that is the close, like, you know, when you talk about controlling people, if you have 30, 40, 50, 100 million people, let's say in the United States, that are part of a religion, they will follow that ideology, good or bad. They choose so, that's up to them. It's a free country. But that is as close as to the idea of assimilation and being of the Borg. You know, you read from the same book, you believe from the same book. It's pretty standard. So I guess in ways we already have it.
While humanity today values individuality and freedom, the rapid pace of technological advancement suggests that the line between human and machine could blur in ways that eerily resemble the Borg's evolution. The first step toward a Borg-like existence lies in the integration of technology with the human body and mind. Cybernetic implants and brain-machine interfaces, once confined to the realm of science fiction, are now emerging as real-world technologies.
And that's true. What Elon Musk is doing with Neuralink, it could be that the solution, that the cure for spinal injuries is literally going to be the merging of organics with inorganics, right? It's going to be the merging of computer chips that interface. Imagine this. Imagine that it gets to the point where you don't text anymore. Like, there'll be a generation where doing this, people are laughing at, right? Generations of the future, they're laughing at us. Because when they text, they go like this. Imagine sharing memories. Imagine if it's possible to share memories. You do whatever the gesture is, whatever the process is. If you can turn thoughts, ideas into electrical impulses and transfer that to someone else, this is not out of the realm of possibility. It's not out of the realm of possibility. So the idea that AI can turn us into a Borg type state, if COVID didn't teach you anything,
Neuralink, for example, aims to connect the human brain to computers, allowing for seamless communication between mind and machine. Imagine controlling devices with a thought, accessing the internet in your head, or sharing memories as easily as sending a text message.
I mean, that's when I did this video 6 or 7 months ago. I mean, this, like I say, the script took me like 3 or 4 days because how do you create the assembly? Words have to be combined to create immediacy of thought in the mind, right? That's kind of what being a screenwriter is all about. And the idea that that we will one day, I am pretty sure we will one day. We will like text with like, we'll think it and we'll text it. You see the South Park with Eric Cartman and shit. You know which one I'm talking about, right? The South Park with Twitter. He's tweeting with, man. Anyway, I think it's coming. Maybe not in our generation, but our kids.
While these advancements could revolutionize medicine and communication, they also raise troubling questions. What happens when these interfaces become so advanced that they no longer feel optional? Could a future society mandate brain implants for access to education, employment, or even basic social interaction?
That's the thing. A government, imagine the government. We're chipped, right? It happens at birth. We're chipped at birth. If you do something bad, the government wants to find you, they'll find you. You're not taking Logan's Run. Oh man, if you guys haven't seen Logan's Run, brilliant movie. But we're taking a look at things that it's the first stage. Like, and I'm the first guy that says 3i Atlas, all the stuff dealing with 3i Atlas is all bullshit. I'm the first guy. I'm going to pull up videos of all the BS that goes on YouTube. I don't believe in aliens. Call me crazy. I don't believe in aliens. I'm not an alarmist. I am a common sense kind of a guy. I'm a science guy. I mean, I'm about as nerdy as you can get. So the idea that government is working towards or maybe the government but the idea that you can have a chip inside of you and the government, if you're being a bad boy or girl, that you get turned off from certain services, you get turned off of medical services, you get turned off from government services, you get turned off of food stamps. Maybe, I don't know. Like I don't want to get into politics because I'm kind of like center left, center right on a whole lot of issues like most people are. But people didn't do anything during COVID. They didn't uprise. They didn't. And I thought, especially in Los Angeles, well, maybe not especially in Los Angeles, maybe in Texas. Texans, good old Texas people, thought you'd be rising up and saying, we ain't going to stand for being locked in our homes. No, you took the bullshit and you did it. That's what's scary. That's what's scary.
The Borg's chilling promise of perfection starts to seem less outlandish. A hive mind like that of the Borg may also emerge from the increasing interconnectedness of our technology. The internet has already transformed the way we communicate and share information, creating a kind of global consciousness where ideas spread at the speed of light. Artificial intelligence amplifies this effect, processing data and making decisions faster than any human ever could.
And that was, and that was the thing is like when I was writing that, it's like, how do you show the progression of how fast this is moving? The internet has not been with us very long. Call it what? Even 20 years at best, like a real full blown internet, maybe 20 years, 20 to 25 years. We are to the point now of AI that is literally dominating, disrupting, destroying entire swaths of the economy. Remember 3 years ago, you want to be a coder because that's job security. Well, that's probably one of the worst jobs that you could be doing right now is coding. It changes everything. It's a disruptor. It's a game changer. We don't even know what's going to happen a year from now. You want a job 2 years from now, become a plumber, become a heavy engine mechanic. Because what I seen in Los Angeles, after 20 years in Los Angeles, the absolute people being wiped out in the graphics area because people now could write text prompts to get whatever they want. Special effects. You know how many special effects people they used to hire? They hire like 1 or 2 special effects peeps, and then the rest are like just AI peeps that, you know, they're able to, they know the text prompts. And then it's about merging that. But internet changes to augmented with AI, internet AI. Whoa. I'm telling you that one day this is going to be like a robot walks out and his name's going to be Ultron, and we're going to go, what the fuck? You know, this was like, this is a movie. No, Ultron's going to be real. He's going to kick our ass.
Imagine a future where AI governs entire networks of interconnected minds, optimizing thoughts, actions, and behaviors for the collective good. At first, such a system might seem benevolent, a way to eliminate conflict, inequality, and inefficiency. But as the Borg demonstrate, the loss of individual will is a steep price to pay for unity.
And that's guys, I was born in a communist country. My parents told me stories that are, if you want to live like real shit, if you want to live like garbage, like crap, like when your horse dies, you kill the horse and eat the horse because you don't get food except for like 2 or 3 times a year if you're lucky. Don't think that socialism and the whole idea of collectivism or a collective hive mind or a collective, there's nothing good about it. Although I would be surprised, everyone might be surprised at the amount of people that would jump at the opportunity to be part of a collective like that. They don't have to worry about paying the bills, paying this, doing this. People are going through a hard time right now, really hard time. And look at all governments create crisis. There shouldn't be this many crises, but there are this many crises because government thrives on crisis. Thrives on crisis. And they implement change based on crisis. They create the crisis. COVID. The button. COVID? Crisis? What's the next crisis? We'll know when it's coming. We'll see it. But one day when the government asks to put the chip in, I don't think it's that far off. A lot of people will say yes. A lot of people.
The biological aspects of the Borg are equally unsettling and potentially plausible. Advances in biotechnology and genetic engineering are unlocking the ability to modify and enhance the human body in ways once thought impossible.
Obviously that's a model, but that taken to the point of actually looking like an android or cybernetic, but there's a whole level of ultra reality. Imagine like Total Recall. Imagine that you could live life in an alternate reality. Instead of dealing with the BS that's going, it's kind of like a Total Recall meets The Matrix. And let's say you are dealing with pain, or you're paralyzed, or you're getting old and you have no mobility or this and that, and you decide to live the rest of your life out in alternate reality. You go down, you lay down, people take care of your body so that you're hydrated, your muscles are going to atrophy, yes, but you've basically decided that you're going to live the rest of your life in alternate reality. And the cost of taking care of your body, kind of like, even similar to Avatar. This is not far-fetched anymore, but this is something that I think could be very real, where maybe you're dealing with a lot of pain, for whatever reason, nerve pain. And you decide that going into an alternate reality world is going to be better for you because you can live a world that you want to create. You're living in the Matrix. It's like the guy that wants to go, what was the character's name that wants to go back? I know the stake isn't here, but my mind tells me it is. And he wants to come back as a rich actor or something like that. I don't think that's too far off. Would you rather be 75 years old and crippled with a walker, or just lay down, go into alternate reality, staff takes care of your body 24/7, your muscles, yes, atrophy. Maybe you don't come out of the alternate reality, and that's sort of how you sort of drift away into Never Never Land. But that could be coming. I mean, this is so plausible. Either it's scary, it's either scary or it's awesome. And in ways it's awesome, but in other ways it's kind of like, damn, damn.
Scientists are exploring ways to grow synthetic organs, manipulate DNA to eliminate diseases, and even enhance physical and mental capabilities. The line between biology and technology continues to blur, creating the possibility of hybrid beings that combine the best of human and machine. While these developments hold incredible promise, they also carry the risk of eroding what it means to be human.
At what point in time are you not human anymore? Like, when are you literally a cyborg? Like, does it get to that point? Do you guys remember the $6 Million Man? I used to love the $6 Million Man. Steve Austin, he was my hero. I mean, I loved Steve Austin. Colt Seavers, that was his name. That's only 50 years ago. It's less than 50 years ago. It's 45 years ago.
Could we, in our pursuit of improvement, one day become indistinguishable from the Borg's biomechanical drones? The Borg's method of assimilation is another terrifyingly plausible element of their existence. In Star Trek, assimilation is achieved through nanoprobes, microscopic machines that invade the body and transform it from within. In the real world, nanotechnology is a rapidly growing field, with researchers developing nanobots capable of performing tasks at the cellular level, such as delivering drugs or repairing damaged tissues.
I don't know if you guys heard, I did a video called, it's called Gray Goo. It sounds stupid, but it's called Gray Goo. It's nanobots. There's actually a book that was written, and it's called, I believe it was called Gray Goo. And so I did a video on it. It's basically nanobots that can recreate themselves. They can, and they're nano, like they're tiny little bots, and then they basically go, and it's a dystopian novel about these nanobots that go. Like, if you ask me, aliens, an alien is not going to send a 12 frickin' mile spaceship to a different planet 50 light years away and spend 10% of our sun's energy output to send this ship there. They will send little nanobots that can record stuff because it'll take no energy. So all of this dumb shit with the 3i Atlas and everything that Avi Loeb, the ASS astronomer, the BS they put out there with it's a comet, people. Fucking news flash. It's a comet. But everything goes nano. And look at, I did a video on Gray Goo. You can watch my video on Gray Goo. It's fascinating. And can it happen? Nanobots? Yes. No, I don't. Who knows? Is it possible? Yeah, it is. It is possible. Warp drives are possible. Theoretically, they're possible. The Alcubierre drive, right? The math was done theoretically. But the only place where we see space-time being bent is at a black hole. We look at black holes. We don't see anyone fucking around a black hole because the black hole will fuck you up. It's kind of like a Les Grossman, right? He's on the phone. I will fuck you up. That's what a black hole is saying. You want to come fuck with? So bending space-time, there's certain things I don't think are. Warp is going to be tough, but I think long before we ever get to Mars and colonize, there's going to be nanobot stuff. There's going to be things that are going on with AI way beyond before we ever get to Mars, before we ever get to Jupiter. Remember 2001: A Space Odyssey, which is an absolute genius movie. 2001, we were supposed to get to Jupiter, right? Well, they're always wrong in Hollywood. It's always a few more decades out. I think some of this nano stuff and some of the AI chip technology, organics merged with inorganic, chips into the brain is coming a lot sooner before we're flying astronauts and building. How are you going to get over you know what? That's a different video, and we will get to it. back to AI and Borg.
While these innovations are currently focused on medicine, the potential for misuse is staggering. A malicious actor, or even an advanced AI, could theoretically deploy nanobots to alter human biology on a massive scale, creating a collective of interconnected minds without their consent. The Borg's horror lies not in their strength or technology, but in the loss of choice, the loss of self. But could such a collective consciousness ever truly work? The concept of the Borg assumes that individuality can be entirely suppressed, that billions of minds can be reduced to one unified will. This idea contradicts much of what we know about human nature. Evolution has hardwired us to value our uniqueness, to fight for our survival as individuals, and to prioritize our own perspectives. Even in highly structured societies, humans resist uniformity. The very idea of assimilating all of humanity into a single hive mind feels alien to our deepest instincts. However, the rapid pace of technological and social change has already shown that human behavior can adapt in startling ways.
And that's the question. Can you even, because through evolution, we have been transformed into individual thinking entities. Is it possible to transform what we are by nature into something that is a hive mind mentality? Can you take the human mind? You know what? I think you can. The Soviet Union proved it, right? I mean, the garbage that came through, Marxism, AKA stupidism. Now, a lot of people like that idea, right? The state's taking care of you. There's so many people losing their homes, so many people going through the harder time you go through, the more crisis, the easier the government has to move stuff through. And if that's going to result in eventually chips being put in because it's for your own good. It's for your own good. We're going to put chips inside of you. This is not, I think most people now realize this is not far off. This sounded stupid 10, maybe years ago. This is not far off now. Can that eventually get to the point where AI and that structure turns people into, I'll tell you what, when you start getting taken off of your bank account goes off. You can't go to Disneyland anymore. We've cut you off of Disneyland. Don't fuck with my Disneyland. Actually, I don't care about Disneyland. I don't care about Disney. Disney is the most evil company in the world. They need to draw Mickey Mouse with like big, sharp, jagged teeth and like little bull horns and something like that. They are evil. They're evil. But don't think it's too far off.
Social media, for example, has created echo chambers where people voluntarily conform to groupthink, sometimes at the expense of their individuality. Could technology one day take this to the extreme? The implications of a Borg-like future go beyond the loss of individuality. A unified hive mind could solve some of humanity's greatest challenges, such as war, poverty, and environmental destruction.
And that's a big thing. When you think about the benefits of a hive mind, a collective of imagine every human being that is part of the human Borg, all working towards one common goal. The question is, who gets to decide on that one common goal? Who decides? Are the people at the top, those few like the Xi Jinpings they're always communists. I'm telling you, man, they're always communists. Communism, left-wing ideology. Mao killed 100 million people. And I'm sorry to burst some people's bubble, but Nazi is short for National Socialism. That's what it stands for. Even Hitler, he nationalized all industries. He was a communist. Make no mistake. Communism and socialism you can argue there's benefits to it. You can. I mean, you can. If you don't value individualism and you value the net result of a collective, the end result of what a collective can do as a single entity, just like our cells work as a collective to create one consciousness. There's going to be arguments where people will, you know what? And it's an easy argument. And the scary thing is, The scary thing is there's a lot of people that have been beaten down so hard economically, socially, that if someone comes to them with a solution, well, the solution is be a part of this. You put this inside the chip, and then we take care of you. We start doing this. We give you money. We want you to do this, 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 and this. We send you this and this. You live a happy life. You get to watch your reality TV, and what else? What else do you get to watch? Reality. You get your reality TV. I don't know. I don't know what else there is. But there's a lot of arguments that can be made to a lot of people why a collective hive mind AI will work. And I bet you half the population will buy it. I bet you they will.
With every mind working toward the same goal, the efficiency of such a system would be unparalleled. Imagine a planet where all resources are perfectly allocated, all decisions are optimized, and all conflicts are resolved through collective agreement. Such a world might seem utopian at first glance, but it comes with an unshakable moral question. Is it worth achieving perfection if it means sacrificing freedom? The Borg's answer is clear. Ours may not be so simple. The possibility of the Borg becoming real also depends on how humanity approaches artificial intelligence. If
I think, and that is so true, because when I was putting this video together, I didn't want to be such a Debbie Downer so that it became like an apocalyptic dystopian idea. How we, I don't even want to say we, because you and I, we got no say in the matter. We're just like, little dumbasses running around. But those decision makers who get to decide what happens with AI, what happens with the power that is, you're talking about trillions of dollars going in. And having worked in the stock market for years as well, and I watched CNBC, I watched the business, I watched the money going in. It's just a big circle of all these companies giving each other money. Yes, they're developing stuff, but there's this hint of human optimism that we have fought through stuff, through things throughout history. Is this bigger though? Is the idea of AI and the collectivism of a simulation bigger than what the human spirit can be? Is it bigger? Is the power of AI, the power of government taking care of you forever? Put this chip in. Oh, we'll take care of you. No, your fears and your troubles are gone, because the government, and we will work together to create a utopian. Okay, Fidel Castro, that sounds great. Xi Jinping, and of course, Mr. Lenin, like now. Some people will argue that it's a good thing.
we create AI systems that prioritize efficiency and logic over human values, we risk building the foundations of a collective intelligence that views individuality as a flaw. AI could become the ultimate arbiter, deciding that assimilation into a unified system is the best way to preserve humanity. In such a scenario, resistance truly might be futile, not because we cannot fight back, but because the logic of the system is designed to be inescapable.
That was such a key thing for me when I wrote it, that resistance could be futile because the logic of the system by default makes it futile to resist. When I wrote that, I mean, I think I spent like 2 days trying to figure out that line because it kind of summed everything up. If you become part organic, part inorganic, right? Basically, AI computers. Does the logic of the system take precedent over the human spirit, which is intangible? You can't point to the human spirit. Oh, there it is. There's that human spirit. The logic of the system becomes so that fighting a simulation becomes almost futile. And once you get started with it, you can't stop it. It was an idea that when I was writing the script, it was kind of like, when is the point of no return, right? Is it 20, 30 years from now where everyone's chipped up I mean, where does it stop, right? Do they start putting? I don't know. I don't know.
The Borg are terrifying not because they are evil, but because they embody a cold, unyielding rationality that leaves no room for dissent. Despite these alarming possibilities, it is also important to recognize the resilience of humanity. History is full of examples of people resisting systems that threaten their freedom, whether through revolutions, rebellions, or quiet acts of defiance. The Borg may represent a technological and philosophical extreme, but the human spirit has a way of finding cracks in even the most oppressive systems. Could we become the Borg? The answer lies not in the inevitability of progress, but in the choices we make along the way. Will we surrender to the allure of perfection, or will we resist, imperfect but free? The choice, for now, is still ours. If you've enjoyed our exploration into the Borg, free will, and humanity, you'll enjoy the dozens of other videos on your screen and on our channel page. I invite you back for our next episode of A Godless Universe.
I wanted to end this video. I wanted to end the video on a high note. One of the great, I think he's underrated, Pat Tillman. This was a guy, he was a professional football player. For those of you who don't know, read up on Pat Tillman. He's a professional football player. He had everything. Pat Tillman had everything. 9/11 happened, which I will not get into. If you believe 9/11, that's fine. That's fine. But his brother was going to Iraq, join the army. So Pat Tillman quit the NFL. He quit the NFL, and his death was highly suspicious. Pat Tillman is the sacrifice. He had everything. Sacrifice for family, for what he thought was his country. But that's the sacrifice that I don't think I could do. Like, he's a better man than me. I mean, I'll fucking admit it. He's a better man than me. I don't think I would do that. Ronald Reagan, if you guys weren't alive during Ronald Reagan, was he a perfect president? No. But he was a president that didn't like a lot of government. We need a Ronald Reagan. I don't think we're going to get one anymore. It's the creation of the times. And Gandhi, you're going back like some of the people. So JFK, JFK wanted so much change in what was going on. There's reasons. I like to call it that there's a lot. Society is much more manufactured than you think. If you want to believe what's going on with Charlie Kirk, holy fuck. If you believe what's going on with Charlie Kirk, come on. I'm telling you, one day I will tell you what I think on Charlie Kirk. And it's the only answer. There's only one answer with Charlie Kirk. There's only one, and it's science-based. It's scientific. Just go through all the evidence. Common sense equals this. But I will one day. I don't know when. The algorithm is touchy, and there are, will AI turn into something much more malicious, or will it actually help save humanity? Governments being what they are, it's like the old Ronald Reagan thing. What was his exact words? Don't worry, do not fear. I am from the government and I'm here to help. Like the most fearsome words you will ever hear. No, thank you. I mean, I try and stay out of anything government. You never take anything for the government because you are their bitch. Seriously. Once you take, it's like the mob, except they're legal. They're legal.
Fuck me.
Oh yeah, fuck me.
Stupid is, stupid does, sir.
Yes, it is. But you know what? There's good people in government. They're trying to do their stuff. But AI, watch AI. Look at the job losses. It doesn't. You know what? So I work in, like I say, I'm working the stock market for many years, and I was a market maker, which was basically, on in NYSE and Instinet, well, NASDAQ, which was Instinet and Island, and also an economic analyst. And we would never believe the economic numbers in the 2000s, let alone today. So now you get the economic numbers. Really? 4.2% unemployment rate? Really? Really? It's how they count the numbers. They don't count people who have been in the gig economy. If you stopped looking for a job a year ago, you're no longer counted. There are better. Anyway, I don't know if you guys ever watch CNBC. It's the best business channel there is. Oh shoot. Kate Beckinsale was stopping me from getting that. Kate, I thought we had a relationship here, Kate. Oh, remember, Kate, Underworld, December 1st through December 4th. Each day we're going to do one of the Underworld movies. We're going to review it because I like Kate Beckinsale. Actually, I like the movies. I think Celine is one of the great female heroes, kick-ass heroes that is done well. But if you take a look, now, I mean, futures, they were down today. Futures are down again, or today, or market was down today. Futures down again today. But if we go down, you start, Pinterest plummets 20%, but IBM cutting thousands of jobs in the quarter. Job openings in October slumped to the lowest level since February 2021. Indeed, measures show. So there's some measures that show the economy. AI has only started to ravage the economy. If you are in coding, if you're a writer, if you are in customer service, if you are in, a graphic artist, if you're in movie making, or you can make an entire commercial using AI. If you're in any of these kind of immediate replaceable jobs, this is like the Industrial Revolution ×2. Now, what we've seen economically is every time this happens, new jobs are created. Just like the internet, everyone said, oh, the internet's going to wipe out jobs. Well, there were new jobs that are created, different jobs. People have to adjust. People are going to go through a really hard time. People are going through a really hard time. That's the thing. People are going through a really hard fucking time right now. A lot of people. I went through it trying to get out of Los Angeles. I spent 20 years in that city. And it almost wiped me out. When cities' economies are managed like shit, guess what? They turn into shit. And people, when you go through Los Angeles, you walk through the streets. 20 years ago, I remember walking when I first moved there thinking, oh, geez, there's people sleeping in their cars. Wow. This was like, 2007, 2008, 2009. It's like, wow, people are like sleeping in their cars. This is like, this was just on the other side of Beverly Hills, kind of like where, close to the 401 but nice areas, but they were sleeping in their cars. Today, you go through Beverly Hills or through anywhere in Los Angeles, you see entire streets where people are sleeping in their cars. You think nothing of it anymore. Skid Row has grown 4 times, 5 times. It's freaking huge. Basically, Los Angeles, except for Beverly Hills, is Skid Row. The third Street Promenade is wiped out, gone. Melrose gone. 3rd Street gone. Human de-evolution at its best. These are so anyway. AI. We're gonna do a lot of TV shows. YouTube broadcasts. Episodes Monday through Thursdays. We're going to do a lot more. The government shutdown. I don't know if the government shutdown is bad. If it's going to shrink government, this cannot be a bad thing. But this results in pain. People go through pain. Dick Cheney passed away today. Former VP. A hated man and a loved man. You get into politics, you're hated and loved. 50-50, I guess, 50-50. AI washing and the massive layoffs hitting the economy. Basically, so this is AI washing is what they're saying is that the massive layoffs in the economy are economic based, not AI based. Well, they're both. I mean, there's no one single answer I've heard people like also being in economics, also being a screenwriter. I've won many awards in the film festival circuit. And you could Google me, Danny Alex. I'm not, at least I have cred. If you take a look at the fall of Hollywood, has nothing to do with the strikes. Nothing. That's supply based. The fall of Hollywood was not supply based. Had nothing to do with supply. Zero. Nada. Had everything to do with quality. Well, not everything. Nothing has everything to do with one thing. Did it have something to do with the strikes? Yes. But it was the deluge of low quality, endless content that meant nothing to no one. And now we're in this dynamic change where Hollywood is being replaced by AI. The studio heads don't know what to do. So who's buying the studios? Larry Ellison. Apple. Well, Apple's not a big acquisition company. Will someone buy Warner? Tough to see. Maybe Universal can buy them. I don't know if Paramount could. But Larry Ellison is a rich man and he is freaking powerful. You and I, we are not, my friends. I am right now the dumbest man in the room because I am the only man in the room. But AI washing, they're, basically how much of the economy is, look, the economy has been falling for 3 years. If the average person has felt it, and the asinine establishment in Wall Street and that sort of upper level, they don't see it. Well, millions of people have been suffering. And now AI is going to magnify that. Now, for some, they're going to find great jobs in AI. But a lot of people are going to have to pivot. And of course, the question of this episode, will AI turn us into Borg? My answer, if I think of it, like it'll probably happen long past I'm gone. Maybe you're gone. To some degree, yes. To some degree, we will all be assimilated. And if you don't think that's going to happen, I think you've got an ostrich. Have you guys ever seen the ostrich pillow? Okay, I'm just gonna show you the ostrich pillow. It was something that was kind of like a science. Oh my God, unbelievable. Oh, Amazon Prime. Do I share Amazon Prime? I do. The ostrich pillow. You might now if you go out and buy one tomorrow. If you go out and buy one tomorrow, do I get a what do I? Where's the? There it is. Oh my God. I know what you're thinking. So basically, this is the ostrich pillow. You stick your head in, your nose goes where the hole is, and you can put your arms at the other top, like over the top there. It's like, this is the ostrich pillow. This was deemed like a scientific, one of these scientific, it was built by science. It was built by science, my friends. This is what, no, I guess in a way it was. I never like to think of science as like the ostrich pillow. $135. Oh man, you'd have to drink a lot of red wine to get me to buy the ostrich pillow. Just saying, this might be the godless universe, but damn it, I will not buy an ostrich pillow. Maybe for Christmas. If someone asks for an ostrich pillow for Christmas, they're fucking getting one, baby. That is the ostrich pillow. My friends, until tomorrow night, I think we might have, I don't know what the, So anyway, if you want to watch the full video, you could go to Godless Universe. It's a video. I worked 3 or 4 days in the script, a couple of days getting the visuals to put it together, and then the music. I remember doing the music, and I wanted to get each, because I used to be a musician too, and so I wanted to get each part of that video. And it's one of the videos I just so love. I love that video. It took me a week to do, and I freaking love it. So check it out. And we are going to be back tomorrow night. Oh, we're going to do some shit tomorrow night. So Monday through Thursdays, my friends, until that day, until the next day, I salute you.
children, let's take our seats.
Yeah, baby. We'll do it live. Fuck it.